Visiting President past and present, the Deputy Presidents, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and watu wetu wa Kenya kwa jumla, hamjambo. Today is a very unique day. It is not every day that I would be standing here to say something to the nation and to the world about my dear husband, Raila Amolo Odinga. For those who don't know me, I've got a very long name. They call me Canon Dr. Ida Betty Odinga EST. Now, these names don't just come like that, but they are names that are given. I cannot forget the name that the public has given me called Min Ping. That name is a very heavy name because it is a name that puts a lot of responsibility to the owner of that name. I'm also gotten the name of Peace Ambassador. And for that reason, even before I say something else, I'd like to say something about peace. One thing that I know that Raila stood for, and he keep on repeating, is that we need peace in our nation, we need peace in our homes. And peace will not survive in a situation, in a chaotic situation. For that reason, I appeal, today I appeal, let us mourn Raila in peace. I know you are all concerned. I know you are all mourning. You are sad about this, but let's keep peace so that the peace can prevail, not only here in the stadium, but also in the rest of the country. Coming to talk about my dear husband, Raila Amolo Odinga. I first met Raila way back in the early 70s, and we got married in 1973. For that reason, I've lived with this man for 52 years. Many of the people that I see or who are in this stadium could have easily be our children. No wonder you call him Baba. That name did not come from nowhere, but came from the experience and the life that he has lived with and relationship that he has had with some of these people. During our union, we were blessed by 4 children. First, the first child was called Fidel Castro Udhiambo Odinga. When Fidel was born, I was a bit hesitant the way he gives the name. I said, why do you call him Fidel? Then he said he was a great admirer of Fidel Castro, and therefore he named his first child Fidel Castro Odinga. Later, we had the second child, Rosemary, and here again, Rose is the name of my mother, and Mary is the name of his mother. We combined the 2 names together and we call the child Rosemary. It also has a meaning to us. When it came to the third one, and he named after his best friend and his cousin called Raila Kembu, with whom they shared the name. So we ended up with Raila Odinga. Last, there was a big gap, and I'll explain to you. Last came the fourth child. The fourth child, when I went to the hospital, and you know those mothers, you end up somewhere in labor ward. And I was watching the television. And on the television, that's the time when Nelson Mandela had come out of prison. It was he's been there for 27 years. Raila also had been in prison, but that's not why we named her Winnie. And I was watching the television, I could see Nelson Mandela and Winnie Mandela holding hands as Mandela walked out of the gates of the prison. By then, I didn't know what kind of child I was going to get. But then I said, if it's a boy, we'll name him Wilson Mandela. But if it's a girl, will be Winnie Mandela. And therefore, Winnie Mandela arrived. And that's the fourth child. I see, when you look at this naming of the children, you can name your child anything that you want. But I'll appeal to those who are still having babies. Give your child a meaningful name. Because you name them people you never saw, you never heard of, simply because it saw the name written somewhere. There's nothing wrong with giving our children the names of the people who in our lives we think are the heroes. Our life was not smooth life. Just like any other family, there's been ups and downs. But as we continue living together, we've learned how to cope because we all have weaknesses and strengths. We learned to talk straight to one another. We learned to speak the truth, and we learned to forgive and move on. Now, that forgiving spirit was not only in the home, but is something that he has spread to the Kenyan. You've seen how many times he has tried in the elections, but that forgiveness is a paramount. So please don't carry grudges from one generation to another and from one group to another. We are all Kenyans. We are all Kenyans. We are sisters and brothers. We must learn to forgive easily and build together Kenya. Towards the end, I'll not say everything. I would like to say everything, but time would not allow. And a span of 52 years is not a short time. I hope that when I get another opportunity on Sunday, I'll be able to say more. But one thing that he kept on repeating to me is that we must urge Kenyans to live in peace. He kept on repeating that. We must repeat it to our Kenyans, we live in peace. Raila hated dishonesty. He hated dishonesty. He hated greed. The greed that have affected the main fabric of our people. You Kenyans, I'll tell you more, but I thank you. I thank you, those who have come and those who are watching us from other places. I thank you for standing with this family. I thank you for being here for us. And I thank you for helping us to mourn. I wish you well. Thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Fellow, moving towards the end of this occasion, the first part, so that we can allow a second part that is going to take place in the afternoon. On behalf of Senator Dr. Oburu Odinga, who has been the co-chair of the National State Funeral Committee for the late Prime Minister Raila Odinga, I want to thank the people of Kenya and the people of the world for mourning our departed leader with dignity. I would like to just clarify that Senator Odinga, in two capacities. First, and secondly, as the interim acting party leader of ODM. Your Excellency, fellow mourners, we recognize there's so many mourners who have come to mourn today, and we respect all of them and thank them for making time. Allow me, Your Excellency, to do two things, and then we will conclude. The first is to acknowledge that the leader that we have lost in our country was not just a leader in Kenya. He was a regional leader, he was a continental leader, and he was a global leader. You see the kind of dignitaries that are present here, whom we recognize for their presence. But we have also received formal condolences from global leaders from around the world. Allow me, mourners, to acknowledge those condolences from heads of state and government of foreign nations. We have the condolences of the President of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, who has sent formal condolences and has sent her Vice President, who is present, the Foreign Minister of Tanzania, who is present, but we acknowledge the formal condolences from President Samia Suluhu Hassan from Tanzania. The Tanzanian delegation is also joined by the fourth President of Tanzania, the Honorable. We also have condolences from President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda. We have the condolences of President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. And President Kagame, in addition to the condolences, has sent the Interior Minister of Rwanda, who is present here to represent President Kagame. The President of Somalia, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, I think has arrived after we had received his condolences, and maybe the President will acknowledge him. The Prime Minister of Ethiopia also sent his condolences. The President of Djibouti, Ismail Omar Gele, has also sent his condolences. The President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, has also sent his condolences. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Mahama. The President of the Republic of Burundi, His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye. The President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio. The President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Emerson Mnangagwa. The President of the Republic of the Gambia, President Adama Barrow. The President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. The Prime Minister of India, His Excellency Narendra Modi. The President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi. We also are in receipt of the formal condolences of the following global leaders whom I want to mention and acknowledge. The Secretary General of the United Nations, His Excellency Antonio Guterres. The Chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf. The Head of the European Union Delegation to Kenya. We also have the condolences of the Under-Secretary General and the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, the Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, the Assistant Secretary General of the Commonwealth of Nations, the Executive Secretary of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, Dr. Wokne Geneyeu, the Secretary General of the East African Community, Veronica Nduva. And finally, I want to acknowledge also the condolences that we have received from the following. Senator James Rich, who is the chairperson of the United States of America Senate Committee on Foreign Relations. From the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, we have the apologies of the Minister for International Development and Africa, Jane Chapman. Condolences from Italy through the head of mission, through the deputy head of mission of the Italian Embassy, the High Commissioner of Australia, the High Commissioner of Canada, the ambassador of the Russian Federation, the ambassador of the People's Republic of China, the ambassador of the Czech Republic, the ambassador of Switzerland, and the ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, we now would like to hear the condolences and the remarks from two other speakers. As we close this session, let me acknowledge all the people, fellow Kenyans who have come to join us and join together in mourning our departed leader. Let me recognize our delegation here from the state side, the arms of government, all the arms of government, and the two levels of government are represented here. We are led by His Excellency the President, William Ruto, and the First Lady. We also have our retired President. We have the speakers of the two houses, the Chief Justice, members of the Cabinet, principal secretaries, the military command led by the Chief of the Defense Forces. We have our governors, senators, MCAs, and the ODM fraternity. Your Excellency, allow me to recognize, because you have permitted me to do so, in our presence, the names that were read, just for the purpose of record. The President of the Federal Republic of Somalia is here, His Excellency Sheikh Mohamud. The President of the Federal Republic of Ethiopia is here, His Excellency Taye Salessi. The Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, His Excellency Dr. Philip Mpango, is here. The former President, the fourth President of Tanzania, the Honorable Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete, is present. Mohamed Thabiti, Foreign Minister of Tanzania, is present. Rebecca Jadeng, Her Excellency Rebecca Nyandeng, Vice President of South Sudan, is present. And the Honorable Vincent Biruti, Interior Minister of Rwanda, who is representing President Kagame, is present. With those many remarks, allow me, fellow mourners, to request our former President, the fourth President of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, to come and greet us and say pole. Mr. President.
Asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. Mama Aida Odinga, Rosemary Asanti sana, nimeshukuru. Thank you. Asanteni sana. Asanteni. Nianze tena niseme Mama Aida Odinga, Rosemary, Junior, Winnie na familia yote ya mwenda zetu, rafiki wetu Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga. Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto na First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto, viongozi wa nchi za kigeni na majirani ambao wametutembelea kuja kuomboleza na sisi, waombolezaji wenzangu, hamjambo? Hamjambo tena. Asanteni sana. Tuko hapa pamoja kama Wakenya kusherehekea maisha ya Mkenya mwenzetu, kiongozi, rafiki yangu, lakini mimi nilimpenda kama ndugu yangu. Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga, vile tumeambiwa hapa, tulimjua kwa majina tofauti tofauti: Agwambo, Jacob, Tinga. Lakini kama Wakenya kutoka kona zote tulimjua na tukamheshimu kama baba. Na tulimuita baba kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga alipenda nchi yake Kenya kuliko kitu kingine chochote. Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga alikuwa baba wa wote, hakuwa na ukabila, na alipenda nchi na wananchi wa Kenya wote. Na testimony hiyo yaoneshwa na marafiki tofauti tofauti ambao ukienda kumtembelea kwake nyumbani ulikuwa unawakuta huko. Marafiki kutoka kila kona ya taifa letu la Kenya. Raila alikupenda kwa sababu ya maono yako, alikupenda kwa sababu ya fikira zako, alikupenda kwa sababu ya vitendo yako, lakini sio kwa sababu ya rangi yako ama kabila lako. Leo hii Kenya imepoteza kiongozi ambaye historia ya demokrasia katika taifa letu la Kenya haiwezi iandikwe bila la jina la Raila Amolo Odinga kuwa nambari moja. Historia ya Kenya ya kutetea haki za kibinadamu na haki za wananchi wote haiwezi iandikwe bila jina ya Raila Amolo Odinga kuwa nambari moja. Historia ya ungatuzi na kuhakikisha ya kwamba wananchi kule mashinani wana uwezo ya kujiongoza na kujitawala na kuwa na viongozi ambao wanatekeleza shida za wananchi kule chini. Haiwezi iandikwe bila ya jina ya Raila Amolo Odinga kuwa nambari moja. In short, nasema vipi? Nasema hivi, Raila ametuacha kimwili, lakini ndani za roho yetu, ndani ya spirit ya Kenya, ataendelea kuishi miaka na miaka tukisonga mbele. Wenzetu, Raila alipenda amani. Raila alipenda umoja wa taifa letu. Raila alifurahia akiona Wakenya wakiungana, wakishirikiana, wakijenga taifa lao pamoja. Raila alikuwa mtetezi wa haki ya kila mtu. Pahali ambapo alikuwa anaona hakuna haki, Raila ndio alikuwa wa mbele hapo kuhakikisha ya kwamba haki zimepatikana. Na wenzangu, nawaambia hivi, tunawakumbuka wakina Mzee Jomo Kenyatta na Jaramogi Odinga kwa kutetea uhuru wa nchi yetu. Na kila mara tukiimba wimbo wa taifa, tunasema tunatalinda uhuru wetu na damu yetu na jasho yetu. Leo hii tukiwa tunaaga baba yetu Raila Amolo Odinga, nataka pia tujiape ya kwamba hatutakubali kama Wakenya haki za kibinadamu, demokrasia na mambo yale yote ambayo Raila alitetea, hatutakubali arudi nyuma. Hatutakubali arudi nyuma. Tutasonga mbele tukizingatia hizo haki kwa sisi ambao tumebaki na wale ambao hawajazaliwa. Hivyo ndivyo ndugu yetu angependa kuona, na hiyo ndio njia ya kuona legacy yake kama kiongozi wa taifa letu. Wenzetu, sio siku ya mambo mingi. Nimekuja kuomboleza rafiki na ndugu, lakini siwezi nimalizie nisiposema ya kwamba hata kama leo tuna huzuni na tunaomboleza, lazima kama Wakenya tuchukue nafasi hii, kwa sababu Raila hangeweza kutenda yale ambayo alitenda kama angekuwa amesimamiwa na mama nguvu wa kazi, Mama Aida Odinga, na watoto wake Rosemary, Junior, Winnie na familia yake yote. Kwa Wakenya tunawashukuru kwa kutupatia Raila atumikie nchi, na kwa kumuunga mkono ndio awe na nguvu ya kututumikia sisi wote. Yangu ni kusema, ndugu yangu, tuende vyema. Wenzangu, kastori kadogo tu, sio kubwa. saa ingine baada ya kazi tukiwa tulia kidogo hapo nini, tunapewa kitu kidogo hapo. Kwani mnacheka? Mimi kitu kidogo nasema uji na chai. Lakini wakati tulikuwa tunapiga gumzo, saa ingine tulikuwa tunajiuliza, unajua jamani, wale wazee ambao wameenda, wakina Jaramogi, wakina Jomo, wakina Nkrumah, wakina Mwalimu Nyerere, jameni, unafikirianga wakiketi wanaongeanga mambo gani? Mimi nilikuwa nasema unajua wanaongea siasa kama sisi, wanatuangalia tu na mambo hii yetu ya upuzi hapo, wanatuchekelea. Anasema lakini unajua I'm very keen kujua. Sasa ndugu yangu, umeenda mbele yangu, sasa tayari najua mnajiongeleshana huko, na sio ati niko na haraka ya kuja kuwafikia, lakini bado tunataka tutulie kidogo. Mwenyezi Mungu atusaidie, lakini najua wakati wetu tukifika utakuwa hapo kutuambia njia ya kutembea hizo mabarabara za huko. Kwa hivyo ndugu yangu, nikuombee kwa Mwenyezi Mungu akurehemu, akulaze na amani na wenzako, ukijua ya kwamba twakumbuka wewe na yale ambao umebakisha tutaendelea nayo, na familia yako sasa imekuwa yetu, na tutaendelea kuwalinda na kuwachunga na kusimama pamoja nao kwa wakati wote. Nasema lala salama ndugu. Mungu awabariki familia yako na awafariji na awapatie nguvu, na Mungu aendelee kuibariki Kenya hii yetu, Afrika Mashariki na Afrika kwa jumla. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Kwa sasa nilisahau kidogo kutambua uwepo wa mkuu wa mawaziri Musalia Mudavadi, jaji mkuu Martha Koome na aliyekuwa makamu wa rais wa zamani Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, hata yeye yako area. After the end of this ceremony, the security agencies led by the Kenya Defence Forces will make announcements through the military MC on the procedure that is going to be followed, because immediately after this, we want mourners who have come to pay their final respects to our departed leader to have as much time as possible in an orderly manner, in a dignified manner, to view the body of our leader. And we want that exercise to begin as soon as possible, but we want to appeal for order, for calm. We have enough time. We are not in a hurry. Everybody who has come here today for that reason will get a chance. As a committee that has been working on this, we want everything to go right. So please, our military, our security agencies will help us coordinate that so that we have security in the stadium as we pay our respects to our departed leader. Before we do that, allow me, ladies and gentlemen, now to invite the President of Kenya, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, to come and address us. Mr. President, sir.
Na tafadhali tuweze kuketi chini. Every once in a generation, there comes a leader whose impact transcends their moment, whose courage inspires change, and whose vision shapes destinies. My brother, Raila Amolo Odinga, was one such leader. Across space and time, there are few exceptional persons who, when summoned by the call of history, rise to meet the challenges and opportunities of their time with indomitable vigor, with absolute conviction, and with unwavering valor. The Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, Ward Mary, Ward Nyar Alego, Agwambo, Tinga, Jacom, Enigma, Ward Ping, Baba, the man in whose honor we gather here today, belonged to that rare, irrepressible breed of human beings. My dear brother Raila Amolo Odinga, as we bid you farewell, we do so with the deepest gratitude as a nation and as a people. We grieve your loss. We celebrate your 80 years of presence and also salute you for the great statesman and patriot that you were. To Mama Ida and your children, Rosemary, Raila Jr., and Winnie, as well as the larger Odinga family, led by our elder brother, Senator Dr. Oburu Odinga, please accept the nation's most heartfelt condolences on this immense loss. Kenya stands with you in this moment of sorrow. We share in your inexpressible grief, but we also share in your pride for your husband, your father, your brother, and your kin, who belonged not only to you, but also to us. Thank you for sharing him so generously with us as families and as a nation. Amolo may no longer walk with us, but his spirit lives within every Kenyan and every African. Such was the depth of his influence and impact that even in his absence, his presence endures. Fellow citizens, we gather here today not just to mourn the passing on of Baba, but celebrate his purpose, his vision, and his ideals. He walked among us as a man, but he also charged among us as a movement for change, a movement for justice, and a movement for inclusivity, and a movement for a greater and better Kenya. Allow me, fellow citizens, at this solemn moment, to also speak as an ordinary Kenyan, a father, a brother, and a fellow traveler in the journey of our nation's history. I have come a very long way with Baba. When I stood by him with the other Pentagon members at a defining moment in his and our nation's history, I neither knew that one day we would find ourselves on opposite sides, nor could I have imagined that years later he would stand by me, this time to steady the nation and to help anchor my leadership, culminating in the birth of the broad-based government. To you, Baba, I owe you, and I am truly and eternally grateful that our paths crossed and that we shared this journey together. We have been both collaborators and competitors, friends and rivals, but always patriotic Kenyans, united by a dream greater than ourselves, a dream bigger than any partisan divide, a dream of a united motherland called Kenya. As I have reflected on Raila's legacy following his passing, I have entertained no doubt in my mind that history will judge him fairly and kindly, because whenever the nation needed him to rise above self, he always did unreservedly. Whenever Kenya needed reason, he became the voice of reason courageously. And whenever the country needed a hand of reconciliation, he offered it without hesitation. Perhaps one of the greatest lessons he taught us was this: in the noble task of statecraft and nation building, there is room for all of us, competitors and collaborators, rivals and allies, bound together by one higher purpose, the greater good of our republic. Fellow citizens, those who worked closely with the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga know that he was irrevocably stubborn in his vision for a just, prosperous, and united Kenya, a nation where opportunity belonged to all and justice favors none. In Tinga demands both courage and patience, that we must be stubborn on the vision, but agile strategies, but never compromising our mission. The gentleman gave more to this country than most will ever. He endured years of imprisonment. He bore the scars of his struggles with dignity and belonged to the people. He shared in their pain, rejoiced in their victories, and never lost faith in the people's goodness. Fellow monarchs, one of the Honorable Raila Odinga's favorite songs was Jamaica, Farewell by Harry